There is a peculiar pleasure in dusting off stories no one tells at dinner tables anymore. Myths that once explained the weather, the stars, the ache in a lover's chest, and were then gently folded into history. Tonight, let us walk along forgotten paths and listen for tales that once revived illuminate corners of our shared human imagination. Begin with a myth from the far north, from the Sámi people of Lapland. Few outside Scandinavia know of the story of the sun's reindeer. Long ago, the sun was a mare whose luminous mane pulled a sleigh across the sky. Her hooves sparked the aurora, and on certain nights she grew tired and slowed. Hunters and children would leave offerings of fish and bread, not for luck, but to coax her onward and prevent a night without warmth. This tale is both a practical memory of polar life and a gentle reminder that even celestial forces were once thought delicate, dependent on small human kindnesses. Rediscovering such a story reconnects us with a reciprocal universe, one in which humans bear responsibility for the cosmos. Travel now to the Indian subcontinent, where an obscure legend from the Khasi people of Meghalaya speaks of the living roots bridges. Long before engineers mapped the region, villagers trained the aerial roots of rubber trees to weave sturdy footbridges over rivers. Legend says these root bridges were gifts from a forest spirit who demanded only respect and careful tending. The tale captures a sophisticated ecological wisdom, infrastructure grown rather than built, patience woven into architecture. In an age of disposable design, the myth urges a pause, suggesting that some solutions require time and relationship rather than force. Across the Mediterranean, buried between the marble tales of Greece, lies the story of the Sibyl of Cumae who preferred silence. The Sibyl could foresee centuries, but each word she spoke aged her, and she chose to speak only when absolutely necessary. This lesser-known variation emphasizes restraint as a moral virtue, prophecy as burden, not accolade. In a culture that prizes prediction and certainty, the story counsels a different posture. To know is heavy, and to reveal must be measured. It asks us to consider the ethical weight of information in our own era of constant disclosure. Move to West Africa, where the Dogon people held a cosmology that startled early ethnographers. Intricate knowledge of the Sirius star system and a myth of a small, hidden companion star the elders called Po. Whether the Dogon's astronomical lore arrived through ancient observation, cultural exchange, or something more mysterious is debated. What the tale offers is humility. It shows how human communities, through ritual and story, preserve complex knowledge across generations. Rediscovering this myth invites us to respect oral traditions as reservoirs of wisdom, not relics to be dismissed. Finally, consider a quiet English folktale about the last parish clockmaker, who stitched time into his town by crafting clocks that chimed only when needed, during harvest, during rain, during births. When industrial clocks replaced him, the town learned to segment life into uniform hours and lost the rhythm of event-based time. This small story reframes modern punctuality as a cultural shift, reminding us that timekeeping is as much a social agreement as it is a mechanical practice. What binds these lost myths is not their exoticism, but their capacity to offer alternatives. Relationships with nature instead of mastery, restraint instead of revelation, patience instead of immediacy. They demand we listen differently, attuned to slow bridges, hesitant oracles, or stars kept in memory. Rediscovering these tales is not mere nostalgia. It is an excavation of choices once available to humanity, practices that can still inform ethical and ecological decisions today. So when we next seek guidance from the past, let it be a past that includes quieter voices and smaller inventions. In those margins lie stories that recast the possible. If we honor them, we might not only recover myths, but also recover a few ways of living that are quietly, urgently worth reclaiming.